Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We are back. We're here for the Morning Slam podcast live here on YouTube.com. Live here every Monday through Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. A little late start here today. It's a Monday, forgive me, but we're here. I'm still not feeling great over the Cowboys debacle last night, but that's another story for another day. At least the Spurs is playing tonight. Could see Victor Wembanyama to open up his NBA campaign. Well, not officially, but the preseason against the Thunder. I think that's on national TV as well, so that'll be an easy thing to check out, along with Monday Night Raw. But, wrestling this weekend was decent. And I'm talking about WWE Fastlane. We'll be talking about that here right off the top. Also have news stories on FTR. FTR. Could they be leaving AEW? Is that a possibility? I don't know. We'll be talking about that. Some Bray Wyatt legacy news, possibly of WWE want to honor the legacy of Bray Wyatt. So we'll be talking about that. And, we have other news here as well. Some news notes that came out this morning. And one major return to WWE's women's division could be happening very, 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 very soon. So we'll be talking about all of that here today. But before we do all that, be sure to follow me on Twitter, X, links down below. Twitter can't have access to it, but I'm going to keep promoting it every day because I like saying X. So So the Twitter's not working, but I'm gonna promote it anyway, just in case if I do get it back. Also follow my Instagram, links down below as well. I am gonna start posting on Threads because if I can't post on Twitter, I'm gonna start posting on Threads. I know a lot of people don't use Threads, but in case we do use Threads out there, it is the Morning Slam podcast on Threads, so pretty easy to get a hold of me on there. So gonna start posting there probably tonight, really, with Monday Night Raw being tonight. So also as well, this lovely podcast is sponsored by Spinebuster Tees, spinebustertees.com. We have a lot of red t-shirts on there. The Just Enjoy Wrestling t-shirt. We have the Weapons of Pro Wrestling t-shirt. We have the Match Types of Pro Wrestling t-shirt. Future Endeavor t-shirt. All these t-shirts here, not only for men, but also for women as well. And also have these same designs and tank tops as well. So check that out. SpinebusterTees.com. Fall 10 at checkout. You get an extra 10% off. And any orders over $40 before tax does get free shipping. That is at Spinebuster Tees and SpinebusterTees.com. Let's talk about some wrestling here. Let's talk about some WWE Fastlane. Not gonna go into full depth on the show, but I will be talking about some of the matches, and also as well, I'll put it to you this way. Fastlane was a good show. Wasn't great by any stretch of imagination. I thought this was one of the weaker PLEs this year. Not to say it was a bad show. It was a good show. I really thought it was good overall. But I thought it was weaker overall. You did have 5 matches here. All 5 matches here. I don't think there was no bad match. No bad match at all. I think the weakest match of the show was probably the 6-man tag. The 6-man tag with the new Hurt Business, if you want to call it that. We have some news about that too as well. A possible new member maybe join Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits versus the LWO with Rey Mysterio, Santos Escobar, and Carlito. And I actually have somebody else that could be possibly and potentially maybe joining the LWO sooner rather than later as well. So we got news about that. Carlito made his return. Terrible entrance theme. They changed his entrance theme. I guess it's gonna be a while to get used to, but why would you change his original entrance theme? Like, that gets the pop out of everybody. But Carlito's back. Looks in phenomenal shape. But despite that, I thought that was the weakest match of the show. But if I have to give this show an average rating out of 10, maybe a 6.5 out of 10, 7 out of 10, maybe. Probably lean towards 7 out of 10. Just because of the fact that you did get a very good main event, you did get a very good opener. The women's match, I thought the women's match was good too as well. So it was only 5 matches on the show. You got in at 7 o'clock, you left by 9:40, 9:35, wherever the time was. So we had the opening match, which was Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso versus the Judgment Day of Finn Balor and Damian Priest for the WWE Undisputed Tag Team Championship. I want to start off with this first anyway to talk about not the match itself. The match was fine. It was fine. Was anything grander? Was anything great? I'm not gonna remember this match. This time next year. I'm not gonna remember probably any of these matches this time next year. But what I will say is that Cody and Jey, they work very well together. Not just in the ring, but outside the ring too as well. If you guys saw the press conference, the media scrum, man, that they were gone. Jey was gone. Do not let Jey drive a vehicle at all. Do not let him be behind the wheel of anything. You know what I mean? That's probably a nasty joke to say, but hey, damn it, it was funny. It was funny. This press conference. So yeah, man, Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes, they're the new WWE Tag Team Champions. You saw a very, very nice 1D Cody Cutter combination type of deal. Very nice and innovative. I like that. Yeah, so really, this win does a lot of things. Number one, it helps Cody and Jay be on SmackDown with you don't need to have a reason now because they are the tag team champions. They don't need to have a reason now because they're the tag team champions. That's number one. But also number two as well, it gives a little bit more dynamic between Jey Uso and the Bloodline and Cody possibly finishing a story. And if for one reason or another, well, one reason or another, but whenever Cody loses the title, Cody can be like, yeah, you know what? I was the one that they got to trade for. I'm not going back to Raw. And he can just stay on SmackDown. So they could do something like that too as well with that. You know what I mean? So I did kind of predict this as well. Like, hey, this is a possibility. This is a possibility that Cody definitely, that Cody and Jay could definitely win the tag team titles. I think this is better for story as well because on the other side of things, I'm talking about, like, the SmackDown thing is obvious. I want to talk about more in depth on what can happen on Raw. What is the major beef on Raw right now with Jey Uso being there? Who has major beef with them? Not just the Judgment Day. It is Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, they want to get the tag team titles back. That's their major concern right now is to get those tag team titles back, along with expelling the Judgment Day. But they want to get the tag team titles back. That is going to create great story on Monday Night Raw. Monday Night Raw has been way better than SmackDown as of late. Ever since Jey Uso has joined Monday nights, Monday Night Raw has been exceptionally better. Better storytelling. And they're beginning this new layer of storytelling with this here as well. Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens versus Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso is going to be great storytelling for TV. It's going to be, you don't really know if Sami and Kevin are going to act the heel role. I'm not saying that they're turning heel, but they can act that heel role in this story as well. So, to me, this is great. This is great. And on the other side of things, you got the Judgment Day. At the end of this match, you saw J.D. McDonough basically, screw over Damian Priest. And Damian Priest, who was selling his leg in this match, his knee, which I thought to myself, I was like, yeah, he's not cashing in. If he were to cash in, that would look stupid. Because why would you cash in injured? And thank God they made sense of that backstage. I don't give WWE credit for many things with continuity and storylines, but thank God they at least made sense of that. And Rhea Ripley was like, no, you're not cashing in, you're not 100%. You know what I mean? So thank God they didn't do the cash in. That would look very good. I would have been opposed to a cash in regardless because it's like, I get that they are trying to make the Judgment Day have all the belts. And, this is the first pay-per-view with Endeavor, but it's not needed. You don't need to do this cash in now just because of, we have to do something. You know what I mean? No, just stay the course. Stay the course. You don't got to rush it. So this creates a dynamic with the Judgment Day because of, Damian Priest right now is the hothead of the group. And his hot-headedness can see him get the boot. Now, I still believe that we're still going to see a War Games match, but whatever happens at War Games, I think they're going to get back on the same page, but whatever happens at War Games is going to be major going in towards WrestleMania with Damian Priest. Is he going to get kicked out of Judgment Day? Is he going to turn, full babyface? Is he going to cash in between now and WrestleMania? So there's a lot of different stuff that they can do with Damian Priest, which is fine. I didn't think it was cool that they had the tag team titles, but I liked them better, this situation better without the tag team titles, because now he doesn't have a title. Is he going to be desperate enough to cash in? We don't know when he's going to cash in because he wanted to cash in on Saturday. So now this creates a more unpredictable dynamic, right? So we'll be talking about Seth Rollins a little bit, but Seth Rollins' back injury is they're telling that story with the back injury. They're telling that story with the back injury and how he's barely escaping matches and how he's barely, lifting himself up and barely getting through these matches. It's kind of like, some people like it, some people don't, but it's kind of like the Orange Cassidy storyline in AEW when he was the international champion, how he was barely, escaping matches and barely winning his matches, and we don't know when his body's going to break down. It's the same thing for Seth Rollins as well. But we'll talk a little bit more about that once we get there. But opening match, decent, good, wasn't fantastic. Just like the show wasn't fantastic. It was good. It was good enough. But, we have our new tag team champions of Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes, and we'll see where they go from there. They're going to be on SmackDown, seemingly to be at least every week. So that's very interesting, and, it's inevitable that there's going to be interaction with Jey Uso and the Bloodline and Cody Rhodes and the Bloodline. It's just inevitable, so we'll see. Hopefully, also as well, hopefully we get a Yeet t-shirt as well, so, Yeet. I mean, I've been noticing that he's been saying Yeet for years, but it just became more in front during that Mia scrum. So the LWO with Carlito, as I mentioned earlier, Carlito made his return versus the new Street Profits, if you want to call it that. Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits. Well, new Street Profits, new Hurt Business, what am I saying? But before we talk about that, let's talk about the new Hurt Business and that they may be getting a new member of the group. And that new member is possibly, this is coming from Fightful Select, Sean Ross Sapp, that there's been discussion about Odyssey Jones. You remember Odyssey Jones? Or if you don't know him, he's from NXT. Possibly being added to the Street Profits Lashley faction. That's coming from Fightful Select and Sean Ross Sapp. I like it. I think that a guy like Odyssey Jones can finally do something on the main roster, because he hasn't done anything yet. He was at, the Superstar Spectacle, I believe, in, Saudi. That doesn't, oh no, not Saudi, in India. That doesn't count, because he was on TV, because that wasn't filmed. Also, B, it's just, who cares? like who cares? I don't really count that. But he hasn't really been on TV. I think he may have been in a Battle Royal on Raw once, too, as well. But he got drafted to Raw, too. If I'm not mistaken, he got drafted to Raw. So, if he was drafted to Raw, that's an issue right there, because, again, this brand split, you're not making sense of it. Like, how you going to get drafted to Raw, then end up being on a SmackDown faction, or a trade of some sort? Did they do a quietly trade? If they make sense out of it, I'm okay with it. Just make sense out of it. Okay? But I don't expect WWE to make sense out of it, especially with a guy with Odyssey Jones. That's number one. But number two, he came into NXT. There is in comparisons to him with Mark Henry. I see why. I understand why. He's going to be the next Mark Henry. I get it. I understand why. I don't like to see people as the next whatever. I like to see the person as that person themselves. I can make comparisons to him, but saying, hey, this guy's going to be the next Mark Henry, this guy's going to be the next Shawn Michaels, this guy's going to be the next John Cena, is just, to me, I don't think that's fair to that talent, because we're setting expectations up as a community up on these wrestlers, and if they don't meet, it's like, oh my God, this guy was a bust. Well, you set those expectations. You know what I mean? So we should overall just let Odyssey Jones become Odyssey Jones. Give him comparisons to Mark Henry, right? Like, oh, I see resemblance to Mark Henry in his crap. But to me, for a big man, he moves better than Mark Henry, right? Not saying he's better. I'm not saying he's better. I'm saying he moves better, right? He could do freaking combat roles and shit like that. You know what I mean? But he still needs a character. He still needs to get better in the ring. He's not as good as Mark Henry in the ring as of right now. I think the only thing that he has is that he does move better. As strong as Mark Henry, I have not seen that. I don't think he will be. Mark Henry is one of the strongest humans of all time. Not just, in wrestling ever of all time. Like, he's one of the strongest humans ever. He was in the fucking Olympics, for God's sake. So, So there's that. But also as well, he was over Smiley on NXT. He got injured. He came back still over Smiley. Now he can go to the main roster and join this new Hurt Business and bring that dynamic character out of him as a possible heel. That's number one. Now, also number two, the Street Profits right now, ever since they joined Bobby Lashley, has been more of lapdogs of Bobby Lashley, have been losing matches, things of that nature. You know what I mean? So with Aussie Jones there, he could be the heater, the heavy for the Street Profits, to where that he can help the Street Profits win matches in Cheney's sense. Also help Bobby Lashley at times, even though Bobby Lashley doesn't need the help. I'm just saying, if it presents itself, Aussie Jones could be there. And, you know, he can learn. This is the biggest thing. He can learn from Bobby Lashley. Being in this group, he's young, he's green. He can learn from Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits as well on how to, you know, be and set in the ring as far as positioning, facial expressions, things of that nature. We've never seen him in a heel role before. So this could be very big. This is in discussion right now. It's not confirmed, but it's in discussion right now that Aussie Jones could be joining the new Hurt Business of Lashley and the Street Profits. But this match overall, again, between Carlito and the Latino World Order of Rey Mysterio and Santos Escobar, and Carlito's pretty much part of the LWO, versus Bobby Lashley and Street Profits, it was a 2-on-3 handicap match before Carlito got there. Now, to me, my question is, what took Carlito so long to get there, right? You know what I mean? He made a call. He made a phone call on Friday. He barely got there late Saturday. You know what I mean? It was kind of silly. It was kind of silly or whatnot. They should have at least, what they should have done is, they should have at least, this is what I would have done, had somebody, they could have filmed this earlier in the show, right? He still could have been in Gorilla waiting. But they could have had someone pull up in like a SUV, a black SUV or whatnot, right? And show someone's, you know, show someone getting out of the car, and shows like the cameraman gets knocked over. They get knocked over, right? And to have the camera up, and all you see is Carlito's poofy hair running by, and it's like, no, that couldn't be. That couldn't be. Then it ends up being Carlito, and he comes out to the ring for the save. And comes out to the ring for a match. But the match was short. It was 10 minutes. Carlito gets the backstabber on, I believe it was Montez, to get the 1-2-3 victory. I thought, you know, at first, this is what I thought. I thought it was either going to be Dragon Lee. And I made these predictions on Friday. This is before, like, I think like on Saturday, early Saturday. It was like, oh, Carlitos is going to be there. I was like, oh, okay, well. You know, and Carlito's been signed with WWE since the summer too as well. So I didn't think it was gonna be Carlito. I thought it was either gonna be Dragon Lee, for the LWO, or it was gonna be a 4-man, where you were gonna add in possibly Carmelo Hayes, but we didn't get near those. But this is fine. This is fine. Carlito looks great. He's in great shape. He is, you know, just phenomenal. He's just phenomenal on how he looks at his age. So. You know, Carlito should just be there to put over people. You know, if he wins the tag team championship, I'm okay with that. But honestly, shouldn't be winning any, you know, United States championship or Intercontinental championship or World Championship. Like, let's not go crazy, right? He's not a young buck anymore. He can still go in the ring. I'm not saying that. Now, I will say this: if the story calls for it, if it happens organically, I'm all for it. But just right now, at this current moment, like, he should be there putting over new talent. Maybe win a tag team title. I think you know what? I would be okay with him winning a United States championship or maybe an Intercontinental championship. I think I'll be okay with that. At most, okay with that. Again, but the story needs to present itself as well at the end of the day. Kind of like with Rey Mysterio winning the United States championship, because we know where that's going to lead. That's going to lead to Santos Escobar end up turning heel on Rey and him being the United States championship. I'm certainly hope so. I'm certainly still hoping at that. So we got our next match. We have the triple threat match for the WWE's Women's Championship. We have Io Sky, the champion, versus Charlotte Flair versus Asuka. And this went about 17 minutes. This match overall was decent. Wasn't great. Wasn't fantastic, but it was decent. Thought it was good enough for what it was. what can you say? It was a standard women's, triple threat match. Asuka looked good in here. Charlotte looked good in here, minus her top rope moonsault, which I think is terrible. She has a good good height, good width, but the impact is like a 1 out of 10. It's like F tier as far as impact on her moonsault. Her moonsault itself, I think, is probably an A tier, maybe a 9 out of 10. But just, yeah, man, it's just terrible. But really nothing to talk about this match. Io Sky, she retained. She gets the help from Bayley. She didn't want the help from Bayley originally on the pre-show. She was like, no, I don't want your help. I don't want your help. Then eventually she got Bayley's help, and she got the 1-2-3 pinfall after Bayley's help. I mean, what do y'all want me to say about this match? That, again, it wasn't a bad match, but what can I say about this match that I can add to it? There was really nothing to add to it. There was story here, right? But it was really nothing of great. Io Sky and Asuka, when they went 1-on-1 against each other, that was really, really good. Charlotte did well in this match as well. But again, this match overall wasn't like anything like, oh my god, you know what I mean? So good match, very good. I don't take anything away from it with women. Very good match. But just again, at the end of the day, wasn't anything like grand for this here. So, alrighty. We're moving on here. But before I do move on here, do want to say here, this is coming from WWE this morning that Fastlane became the most watched and highest grossing Fastlane in company history. The premium live event set new Fastlane records for viewership, gate, and sponsorship. Viewership for Fastlane was up 71% versus the previous record set in 2021. The sold-out show marked the largest gate ever for any Fastlane and became the highest-grossing WWE event ever held in Indianapolis. Awesome. Great stuff. Good stuff. The pro wrestling business is booming right now overall. Really more WWE than AEW. But AEW, they're putting on great TV. I think AEW is putting on great TV right now. But the audience itself is just not adding up for the audience as far as ticket sales, things of that nature. I don't know if they need to lower the ticket sale prices, because if you saw Collision's audience attendance, it wasn't great, especially on TV as well. So they need to figure some things out. I'm pretty sure they will figure some things out and get back to it. But anyway, we'll talk about I don't really have much AEW news. I do have obviously I have the FTR news here, but outside of that, really not much AEW news until tomorrow, because we're gonna be hopefully there'll be some news out about this NXT versus AEW tomorrow. So, which should be fine. Back to the card here. We got 2 more matches left here. We have a tag team match of John Cena and LA Knight versus the Bloodline, Jimmy Uso and Solo Sikoa with Paul Heyman. And this match here went about 17 minutes. Yeah, 17 minutes and 20 seconds. Same as the last match as well. So I didn't think they planned that to be the same exact length. So, but anyway, John Cena calling out spots loudly on TV. Lovely. It wouldn't be a John Cena match. Welcome back, John. But the baby faces win, of course. Like it, at the end of the day, what does it really mean for the Bloodline? You're gonna get Roman coming back on Friday, him being pissed off, him going after Jimmy Uso, maybe kicking him out of the Bloodline again. He's like, who said you were in the Bloodline in the first place? Paul Heyman is great, selling this story by not dyeing his hair again. He stopped dyeing his hair because of the stress of the storyline, things of that nature. Solo Sikoa, still Solo Sikoa in this match. It was a good match. LA Knight getting the hot tag in this match. And, going wild. John Cena worked a very good match despite him, not being full-time anymore, being super, super, super part-time. And John Cena, even stated that he wants to actually be somebody that can still work in the ring to his expectations. So he said that he wasn't there yet, but I thought he did well in this match. I didn't think it was, I didn't think it looked like John Cena from 10 years ago or even 5 years ago, but he looked fine here. LA Knight, picks up the win with the BFT on Jimmy Uso. Looks like they may be doing LA Knight versus Roman Reigns at in Saudi. Don't like that idea. I don't like that idea. It's a terrible idea. Where does LA Knight go when he loses? He's already going to be at the top. He's like, him losing is going to affect him a little bit. Not with the fans, not with popularity, not with merch, not saying that. With his position on TV, is going to be knocked down just a little bit. I think that LA Knight should possibly maybe go up against maybe Sol Sikoa in Saudi, 1-on-1, or maybe Jimmy Uso 1-on-1 at Saudi. I don't think him and Roman it's probably gonna be a good match. Probably gonna be a lot of emotion towards to it, good promos, things of that nature. I just don't think that it's time as of yet. I may be wrong. I may be a minority in that, but at the end of the day, it is my opinion for one. But also number two, I'd rather just see John Cena and Roman Reigns. Even though we've seen it many times already, I'm usually a guy that complains about repeat matches. But if I had to pick one, right, I'm gonna pick the lesser of two evils. But I think if anything, if I'd rather have an LA Knight match versus Roman, even though I still don't prefer it, I'd rather have it happen at Survivor Series. Just off the crowd alone, how they're gonna be so pro LA Knight in Chicago. It'll just be fantastic, amazing. But what do I know? Obviously nothing, because I'm doing this podcast and I'm not working in WWE. Just kidding. But yeah, match overall good, but again, wasn't anything grand or great. Seth Rollins versus Shinsuke Nakamura in your main event. This match went 28 minutes. This was the last man standing match for the World Heavyweight Championship. Seth Rollins defeated Shinsuke Nakamura. I thought Shinsuke Nakamura had a chance in this match because of the ABEMA contract with WWE streaming rights. They also have streaming rights to Pro Wrestling Noah. There's possible rumor of WWE and Pro Wrestling Noah working together in some partnership as well. So I would have figured that they would have done a Jinder Mahal situation where they put the title on Shinsuke Nakamura and do that. But, with Nakamura losing, where does he go from here? Where does he go from here? He was just used to put over Seth. I thought Nakamura the last few weeks was doing the best work he's been doing in this new heel role. I don't know. I think the fans are getting fatigued from Seth Rollins being champion, at least online, at least, not from the casuals in the crowd. They sing his song, right? But Seth Rollins, this is his best character. He's wrestling great. Like, there's never a bad thing about Seth Rollins in the ring, to me at least. But I just think that as of right now, people are fatigued of him being champion already. And it's the same thing with Orange Cassidy, too. Orange Cassidy opening up Dynamite every week. Like, we know he's a great wrestler. You may not love the gimmick or whatnot. But, when that bell rings and after he gets done with this shtick, and, like, he even changes that up, too, as well, where it's like he'll do a slow kick, then he'll just do a super kick out of nowhere. At the beginning of the match, not like in the middle or anywhere. But just like Orange Cassidy, his back, Orange Cassidy's whole body was all messed up. But, basically Seth Rollins' back is going to break down on him. His body's going to break down just like Orange Cassidy. And there's going to be somebody that's going to end up taking the title off of Seth Rollins and become the new World Heavyweight Champion. Who is that? I don't know. Who Seth Rollins goes up against next? I don't know. Maybe a Bronson Reed, maybe. I don't know. I think Bronson Reed has contention for the Intercontinental title, but I would love to see a Bronson Reed versus Seth Rollins for the Saudi show, right? That'll be pretty cool. There are, I mean, it's not Cody. It's not going to be Cody or Jey Uso, right? I don't want to see Finn Balor again, right? Damian Priest, maybe. That could be something, but he already has a Money in the Bank contract, so it's like, are you cashing in your Money in the Bank doing that, or do you earn your shot? He could probably do it to where he earns his shot against Seth Rollins, then he loses, then eventually does cash in. That could be a storyline there where they can have Seth Rollins versus Damian Priest in Saudi. Damian Priest earns the shot. Then after the match, everyone comes out to beat down Seth Rollins, you know what I mean? And, you know, you get JD McDonough beats him down and Finn Balor beats him down. Then Damian is looking at the briefcase and he's like, should I cash in? Cashes in, then he beats Seth Rollins that way. Maybe they can do that. And I think I'll be okay with that if they do it in that fashion. But yeah, who's going to be the guy that's going to take the title off of Seth Rollins? Who knows? Ciampa and Gargano, it seems to be back together as well. You know what I mean? So it's like you don't really know on who is actually going to be there to defeat Seth Rollins. I mean, Braun Strowman ain't back yet. I mean, maybe you could do him versus Chad Gable. Maybe. I don't think that's a WWE champion. A World Heavyweight Championship match. I don't know. It's not Kofi Kingston or anybody like that. It's not Sami Zayn. It's not Kevin Owens. Hopefully it's not The Miz. Maybe Ricochet. Ricochet still has issues with Shinsuke Nakamura. He's out right now due to a storyline kayfabe injury. Maybe just a little bit vacay, right? Before he comes back. They could probably do that. Or Drew McIntyre. Just saying, Drew McIntyre. I think Drew McIntyre could be that guy. They could take the title off of Seth Rollins now and save Drew McIntyre last for this particular reason. He's turning heel. He wants to be that new vicious monster on the Raw roster. Could he be World Heavyweight Champion? Could he be World Heavyweight Champion going into WrestleMania? I don't know. All I know is right now the rumor is they want to do Seth Rollins versus Gunther at Mania. How are we going to get there? Most likely Gunther winning the Rumble, which I'm totally 100% fine with. But Drew McIntyre, you think, has to have a say between now and WrestleMania on the World Heavyweight Championship. If that's the case, he is the most likely one to win. But if he loses, I won't be surprised either. But the match overall, though, Seth Rollins and Shinsuke Nakamura. I thought this was great. Not 5-star match. It's not better than Ilya and Carmelo Hayes. It's not better than Bryan Danielson versus Zack Sabre Jr. Not better than Swerve and Hangman Adam Page. Not even better than Darby and Christian. Not even better than Tiffany Stratton and I was going to say Bianca Belair. Becky Lynch. Not better than those matches. Very good main event, though. I will at least give it a 4-star if I was rating this. But selling the back, had a lot of spots. Shinsuke Nakamura using the miss, red miss, spinning the red miss, pushing Seth Rollins off a ladder onto the announcer's table. Doing the spot on the concrete. Dumping Seth Rollins out of the stands onto a mattress onto the floor. Seth Rollins doing a Falcon Arrow to win this last man standing match from the top of it's not top of the arena, but on the balcony on the first set of rows there, onto some tables. I thought it was a great match. I thought it was a really, really, really good main event. Really good main event. Again, not the greatest main event in the world, but it was really good. I at least give it, like I said, a 4-star match if I were to rate it. If I think Meltzer were to do it, I think Meltzer would probably put. I think Meltzer may actually give it 4.5, which is tied with Becky Lynch and Tiffany Stratton and Darby and Christian. I just like those matches better overall, just because last man standing matches, you got to understand that they are a little bit slow when the referee is going 1, 2. It kind of takes it out of it a little bit, and you already know that they're going to begin up at either 7, 8, or 9, right? So last man standing matches, I mean, they can be real. I mean, WWE does them very, very good. They do them excellent. You know what I mean? Like, just I just kind of wish that they do a little bit more creative ways of the match ending. Like, for example, John Cena, strapping Batista between the ring post with duct tape, which is stupid. I still hate that to this day, but it was creative though at the time. Tommaso Ciampa, being on top of a what do you call those things? Those things with wheels. They put like those equipment cases with the wheels on them. And like he just puts his feet down for a 10, you know what I mean? When the 10 count was being counted, so more creative ways for the last man standing match. Still a great match. I thought it was very, very, very good, very, very good for a main event. So again, we got our that was it, but that was our Fastlane review. And again, if I have to give a rating out of 10, give it a 7. Again, I thought it was weaker of the WWE PLEs for this year. Again, good show. Didn't knock my socks off or anything, but I thought it was a good show overall. And it was a very, very good main event, too. So, that was that for Fastlane. Let's move on to some AEW-ish news. I guess it is, technically. FTR. I don't know why people... I don't even know why this is a news story, to be honest. But I'm going to talk about it. I have to talk about it. I don't know why this is a news story. As if people don't know what contracts persist in pro wrestling. Tony Khan has not released anybody out of their contract before it ended, with the exception of CM Punk and I think Jimmy Havoc. I believe. I don't think there was maybe Diamante for the first time, maybe. I think. Well, that's probably, I think, but Jimmy Havoc and CM Punk. FTR signed a new deal, a new 4-year deal that goes through 2027. They announced it on their podcast that they signed new contracts with AEW. So why are people thinking that FTR, just because they lost the tag team titles on Collision, which was a little crazy, on Saturday, why do people think that, oh my God, they're going to the WWE with CM Punk? First of all, we don't even know CM Punk is actually going to be in WWE as of yet. Most likely, yes. Most likely, that's a possibility that CM Punk will be back in WWE. But until we get confirmation, it's all speculation right now. Why would anyone think that, FTR is going to be going back to WWE with CM Punk? CM Punk's not even in WWE yet. So why will we even come to that conclusion? So FTR lost the AEW Tag Team Championships on Collision on Saturday versus Ricky Starks and Big Bill. First of all, congratulations to Ricky Starks and Big Bill. Very well deserved from Ricky Starks. Big Bill wins the tag team title without Enzo Amore. Crazy. They weren't even tag team champions in WWE or even NXT for that matter as well. So that's kind of crazy. One of the more over tag teams in the last 10 years. Never won a tag team championship together, at least. So anyway, match of Raw. I didn't see the match. Because I was watching Fastlane. Seeing Jade Cargill, coming out of her vehicle. The reason why I didn't talk about Jade Cargill, because what is there to talk about? She was on TV for the first time. She looked fantastic. She looked great. She looked like a movie star. She looks better than what she did in AEW already, just within that 15 seconds. She went with Triple H and she left. What is there to talk about? Nothing. There's nothing to talk about there. But again, she left and she wasn't even at the press conference too. So, but she did look great though. She did look great. But yeah, but after the match, maybe about like an hour later, after the match, or 30 minutes later, I should say, Dax went to Twitter and posted 4 pictures of him, with the tag team championships. There's him and Cash. There's one of him and Jay White going head to head. There's FTR with Better Than You Baby. Then there is FTR with CM Punk as well. And it says, "What a run. Love you all. Top guys out." I didn't think of anything of it. So I'm like, okay, well, he says top guys out all the time. And these are not pictures from his whole entire AEW run. This is pictures from his reign, from their reign as tag team champions, his current reign. And I didn't think anything of it. I was like, okay, well, he's probably just talking about maybe just this particular title reign. And that's what a lot of people were saying on Twitter as well. Like, they were just talking about, this title reign overall. So that's what it was. And sure enough, Dax went back on Twitter, maybe like, I want to say maybe like an hour later, once the news story got out there. He says, "Guys, I say top guys out all the time. We ain't going nowhere. This is our home." FTR ain't going nowhere, guys. They're not going anywhere. At least not through 2027. Fightful confirms, and this is coming from Sean Ross Sapp, FTR signed to AEW through 2027, and both sides are on good terms with one another. Dax filing to trademark CMFTR could be outside of AEW or New Japan. There's speculation that Cash could be injured since he didn't take much offense. And again, Cash Wheeler could be injured. That's the reason why they took the titles off of them. And again, at the same time, I'm okay that they took the tag team titles off of them because I don't want to see another Young Bucks and FTR match so soon. I don't want to see that. We just saw it at All In. I don't want to see it again at, Full Gear so anytime soon. I will say this. Those titles are going to be on the Young Bucks at the end of Full Gear. Sorry. It just is what it is. They're in California. The Young Bucks, they only won the titles once, right? They had a long title reign, but they only won the titles once. They want to try to be even with FTR. That's is what it is. So, that's life. You know what I mean? And so it looks like Ricky Starks is just going to be a transitional champion to the Young Bucks. So it is what it is. But the CMFTR trademark, which was also in the news, I think it was on as of Friday, the CMFTR trademark. I get it. I understand why. But, at the same time as well, I think they're just being safe in case if they end up going back to WWE in 2027. But again, at the same time, they're saying, like, well, this is our last time that we're going to be, using. Oh, it's like, this is going to be our last contract. So this CMFTR, maybe it's for merchandise purposes once they are done with AEW. Maybe they can do CMFTR in WWE on a t-shirt, possibly. Or maybe they can, who knows? Maybe CM Punk wants to do an indie show with FTR. I don't know. And do a 6-man tag. Not necessarily like a regular indie show, but like a super indie show, right? Kind of like like the House of Glory, right? That's up there in New York City. OVW, which is very big and known. A big and known indie promotion, not just like a small local indie promotion where they get 10 fans there in the front. So, regardless of all that, though, I don't really see FTR going anywhere. They're a contract through 2027. If Tony Khan ends up letting them go, this is the only third time in company history where they let someone go out of their contracts. I don't see any reason why that will happen. Cash Wheeler's injured. He wants to rest up. I mean, why would they want to leave? Why would they want to leave? And why would you guys want him to go back to WWE? You think, okay, You got FTR versus the Usos, which the Usos is not even together right now to begin with. Regardless, why would FTR want to go back to WWE right now? Who would they go against? Okay, yes them versus DIY. FTR versus DIY. That'll be fantastic. Rehashing, take over Toronto. I get it. I understand it. Believe me, as an NXT diehard, I understand it 100%. Then what you have after that? The New Day, seen it before. You got Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Okay, you got me there. A little bit. Okay. LWO. Yeah. Maybe. You know what I mean? Joaquin Cruz and not Joaquin Cruz. God, Jesus. Joaquin Wild and Cruz del Toro. Okay. A little bit. I mean, I won't. It'll be a good match, but I'm not sinking my teeth into that. Imperium may be broken up by then. So what will be the reason why FTR need to go back to WWE? Maybe they'll. I won't say they go to NXT. Definitely not. They'll be on the main roster. But maybe some NXTs will get caught up. The Creed brothers. Good God, yes, that'll be a match I want to see. Creed versus FTR. That'll be a fantastic match. That could be a 5-star match if ran well. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Them going back to the WWE right now, it just doesn't make any sense. They don't even have. They barely have enough tag teams to even consider a division. It's barely even that right now. It's barely even that. It's not really a division. You can't really name 6 teams that are consistent on WWE TV right now to make it a tag team division. The Viking Raiders are not the Viking Raiders right now because Eric is injured. You know what I mean? Raymond Rowe's injured right now. You know what I mean? So you got Ivar there, which versus he's gonna be faced off against Xavier Woods tonight in a Viking Rules match. Should be pretty good for Raw, but I just don't understand it. I don't understand it. But FTR taking some time off. If any team that deserves some time off is FTR. One of the best tag teams in the world. One of my favorite tag teams ever. It's just like, I was talking about this yesterday with somebody that came into my shop, and they're like, "Oh, who's your favorite 5 tag teams of all time?" And I had to really think about it. I was like, I said, I think FTR's up there. I think FTR's up there because I love them since they were the Mechanics, and when they became the Revival the first time, and people didn't like them because they're like, "Oh, they're too old school," and I was like, "This is perfect. Like, you need in-ring psychology like that. You need tag team psychology like that," and they are, the best NXT tag team champions of all time in my humble opinion. And they are definitely one of the best tag teams of all time as of right now. So we'll cover more FTR news when it comes, but as of right now, I don't think they are leaving AEW, nor should they really. Bray Wyatt news. There are rumors circulating that plans for Uncle Howdy, Wyatt 6, and Firefly Funhouse could possibly continue in honor of Bray Wyatt's legacy. I believe it didn't show the source, and I want to get the source right. I think that came from Better Wrestling Experience. I don't know why this particular one did not have the. Let me see if I have it here. I think it was Better Wrestling Experience, if I can find it. Yeah, it was Better Wrestling Experience. So Better Wrestling Experience, again for the second time, says that there are rumors circulating that plans for Uncle Howdy, Wyatt 6, and Firefly Funhouse could possibly continue in honor of Bray Wyatt's legacy. I don't know what that means. If this meaning that Bo Dallas comes back under the Uncle Howdy mask to honor his brother, look, wherever they do, I'm fine with. But this is a very slippery slope, because there are going to be fans out there, unfortunately, very unfortunately, that is not going to like what this story, what could persist of it, because it's not Bray. And to me, I think that would be disgusting if that happens. But I'm just saying reality. We all know how internet online fans can be. But whatever they do to honor Bray's legacy, I am okay with. It doesn't necessarily have to be Bo Dallas coming back and being in the ring and, and maybe there's going to be a new faction of White Six. If they do that, hey, I'm all for it. It's kind of hard because the wounds are still fresh with this. It will be kind of hard to think anything negatively about this. Like, that's just me. I can still have my opinion on certain things, but again, at the same time, it's like, man, they're doing this to honor Bray. Like they're doing their best with it. And I think whatever WWE does, I think they're going to try to do it with some class and the best thing that they could do with it. But as of right now, there are rumors. Uncle Howdy, the White Six, which was a rumor faction, and the Firefly Funhouse could possibly continue and return to WWE TV. So, what do you guys think about that? Leave a comment down below on this video. Let me know about that. Also, let me know what you think about the other things that I talked about so far here in this podcast. But I can't really go in depth into it because there's really no concrete news about this. Just speculation. We know Bo Dallas signed back to WWE. He was under the Uncle Howdy mask. I don't know. I just hope they do right by Bray. That's all I can really say. That's it. Let's talk about Dragon Lee real quick. We got a couple more news stories here. This is actually going to call it a stream here. It'll be longer tomorrow because of the Raw recap. And hopefully there's more news tomorrow. But Dragon Lee is listed on the SmackDown roster on WWE.com. So Dragon Lee's officially been called up to the main roster. Good. Awesome. He is a guy that I will say that in the next few years, once Rey Mysterio retires, he could be the new Rey Mysterio. They tried that before with Kalisto. They tried that before with Sin Cara, but I think Dragon Lee, in this current iteration of the creative team in WWE, I have more faith in Dragon Lee getting that push over anybody else. Could I see him as a WWE champion or World Heavyweight champion? It remains to be seen. It really does. I think he could be a main event contender for sure in 5 years from now. I think he'll be up there because the next 5 years WWE is going to look super different. It's going to look super different. We don't know if Roman's going to be there again. We don't know. John Cena will probably be gone by then. Seth Rollins may be winding it down at this point. You know what I mean? We know WWE in 5 years is going to look super different. MJF may be there. You may be looking at people like MJF and Grayson Waller and Carmelo Hayes and Braun Breaker and Dragon Lee. Just there's a lot of dynamic in the next 5 years. WWE is gonna look super different in the next 5 years. They are. Ricky Starks, Wardlow. That's all possibilities, and whoever they bring up from NXT as well. Brian Pillman Jr. WWE is going to look exceptionally different in 5 years. Dragon Lee's going to be part of it, and will he become Dominic Mysterio? Forgot about him. Will he become World Heavyweight Champion? It remains to be seen. But he has the potential. He has the look. He has the in-ring ability for sure. He's still very young. He has a shot. He definitely has a shot. But he's on SmackDown. He's gonna be feuding up against Grayson Waller and Austin Theory, right, for a while. Austin Theory, I don't think I mentioned him, but yeah, Austin Theory obviously is gonna be part of that group in the next 5 years. He may be the top guy in the next 5 years, possibly, but yeah, him being there, feuding against those guys, is he gonna be part of the LWO? Possibly whenever Santos Escobar gets out of the group. I think Dragon Lee will fit like a glove in the LWO. But official part of the main roster now. SmackDown. I think he's in a good position on SmackDown. Will he get lost in a shuffle? I hope not. I really hope not, but we'll see. We'll see. Dragon Lee up to the main roster. Speaking of SmackDown here, Triple H will be appearing on the season premiere on SmackDown. The reason why I'm not reviewing SmackDown is because why? What the fuck do I need to talk about on SmackDown for? We just talked about Fastlane. But Triple H, this is one thing that came out of the show. Triple H will be on SmackDown this Friday for a special announcement. What can that be? Let's pull on a speculation hat here for a second. What it could be? Tinfoil hat. Number one, it's not Jade Cargill because we already saw Jade Cargill already. And plus, Jade Cargill could be going to Monday Night Raw. That's the rumor right now. That's number one. Number two, could be brand new tag team championships. Could be a tournament of some kind being announced. Maybe a King of the Ring comes through at the end of this year instead of in June. Maybe, I don't know. Just saying, maybe that could be that. He could finally announce Cody to SmackDown, right? He could be announcing a new deal of some sorts, of some fashion with somebody. I'm not saying with a wrestler, but I have no idea. I have no idea. But him doing it on Fox probably won't be a good idea for that either. So now I'm double thinking about it. I have no idea. Has my attention though. Definitely has my attention, and I'm very curious to see on what happens there. With that, but I don't know. I don't know. Maybe announce CM Punk. Who knows? I don't think so. I don't think that'll have to main event the show to build up the anticipation. But probably, I think the most likely scenario is him announcing War Games. I think that's the most likely scenario. Them announcing War Games for on SmackDown for the Survivor Series. Just like how I think Cody's only going to be on NXT, just announced the Dusty Cup, which is fine. It's okay, But I think the most likely scenario is Triple H announcing the War Games match is coming back for Survivor Series this year, which we kind of already been knowing already through indirect context clues. So there you go. Last story today, and to close up the podcast here. Let's talk about Kyrie. Speaking of, and we're gonna be talking about some Japan stuff here in a second. I really like Yota Tsuji from New Japan. I'm just saying. Saw a couple of matches this weekend at the shop. I'm sold on him. He's like a Seth Rollins. He's like Seth Rollins in the ring. I like him. Yota Tsuji. Pay attention to that name. He actually earlier this year he went up against Sonata at Dominion. They had a really good match, but he's very good. Him and Shota Umino, who shows up on AEW sometimes. He's part of the Blackpool Comic Club. Very good stuff. But Kyrie, earlier this morning or earlier tonight in Japan, she had her farewell match in Stardom. And it seems like she's on her way out of Stardom finally. She looks like she had her last match. She, went to the camera at the end, gave a little bit of a heart. And it was very emotional in the ring. Everyone was, hugging Kairi Sane. But nice little send-off with her and Tam Nakano. Looks like Kairi's gone. Mariah May's leaving Stardom as well, so they're losing two of their bigger stars in Stardom in 1 week. Kairi and Mariah May. Mariah May's going to AEW, most likely to be with Toni Storm, which I think is great. I think that's a great position for her. But Kairi's coming back to WWE, assuming that she'll be back on SmackDown. So I really think that it will be a It's gonna be good for her. It's gonna be good for her. It's gonna be good for her to be back in the women's division in WWE. You need a strong female wrestler like that. SmackDown is in desperate need of women. You know what I mean? So adding someone like Kyrie and eventually maybe Tiffany Stratton will possibly make SmackDown's women's roster the best women's roster in wrestling. If that were to happen. Even though SmackDown sucks, the women's division, I won't say it's a total bright spot right now, but it's gaining steam. Not to mention you got Bianca Belair, Charlotte Flair, Asuka, Io, potentially Kairi Sane, Bayley, Dakota Kai, Mia Yim, possibly Tiffany Stratton. That is a damn good women's division right there. That is damn good. Now the only question is, you got all these great women on here. All these women can't shine at once. All these women can't shine at once. What are they going to do to keep the dynamic of this women's division the correct way on SmackDown, week to week to week to week to week? So they're doing kind of a good job right now with the factions. That's why factions are important, because you are able to get these women on TV, or not men and women too. But you are able to get these women on TV and still be important to the television product even without wrestling. So that's why factions are important at the end of the day. So, but that's it, guys. I don't have anything else. I'm gonna look at the timeline real quick because you never know, breaking news happens. I don't see anything here on the timeline here. I don't really see anything here on the timeline at all. Nothing to really talk about. Stuff I can say for tomorrow, to be honest. There's a Dave Meltzer saying believes that AEW is cold. I could save that for tomorrow. Yeah, so yeah. But anyway, yeah. Meltzer saying that AEW is cold. I can read this real quick. So Dave Meltzer believes that AEW is cold. This is coming from the Wrestling Observer report. And he says, they are cold. Boy, they are cold. And how to change that, man, that's hard to do. Edge there at Collision last night and didn't move a lot of tickets. Edge is a good performer and he's a good talker and everything like that, but it's not Punk as far as a game changer. Yeah, absolutely. He's not saying anything. He's not saying anything weird there. Love Edge. I'm happy for Edge. I'm happy for Adam Copeland. He's always been great. He wants to end his career with fulfillment. He does want to make money too as well. And he wants to try something else different. He wants to have that different dynamic in his career. I'm sure he doesn't regret going to AEW. His bank account doesn't regret going to AEW. So I'm sure he's gonna be fine. He's gonna be fine there. But at the same time as well, Saturday nights suck for pro wrestling when it comes to weekly television. It just is what it is. You got college football on. This is college football's on right now. Now hold on a second. Because I think that the NFL will end up having Saturday. They do have Saturday night games, but let me see when that begins. The Saturday night games here, because I think the Saturday night games begin in November. Yeah, Saturday night games begin here in November. That's Sunday. Hold on. I've been prepared for this, but I was prepared for this. So there's a Saturday night. Yeah, it's a Friday night game. Jesus Christ. Thursday, Friday. What? The Jets and Dolphins are playing on the 24th of November? A Friday night game? Jesus. A Friday day game? At 2 o'clock? The hell? That is so weird. So weird. There's no Saturday night games this year. Oh. There's no Saturday night games this year. Or is there? No Saturday night games. No Saturday night games for the NFL this year. This is so awkward on the podcast. I hate when I'm awkward like this. It's not good. It's not good podcasting. It's terrible podcasting. But regardless, You got college football. I don't see any Saturday night games for the NFL. I don't see any Saturday night games for the NFL this season. Not even. Well, okay. There's one for Week 16. You got Bills and Chargers, which could be playoff implications, and also Bengals and Steelers, which could be playoff implications as well. So that's gonna be on December 23rd. I would like to think AEW would like to pre-tape that show, and if they pre-tape it, that's even worse for Collision. So you got college football, and you also got possibly the NFL as well later at the end of the year. But my point is this: Dave Meltzer says this, that AEW's cold. I mean, he's telling the truth. I mean, he's not, he's been critical of AEW ever since the beginning for the most part. Not critical per se, but like he's really into numbers and he's been honest. Is he biased to some things? Yes, obviously. But at the same time as well, he's not afraid to be critical of it. So he didn't say anything here that was oh my God, shocking or whatnot. But yeah, no, they're cold right now. It's seen in the attendance. As far as cold. Now I think television itself is different from the attendance. I think the TV things right now that they're doing, I like the TV stuff that they're doing right now. Obviously the MJF, I like the MJF storyline with Jay White. I think Jay White is fantastic, great. They're gonna have their match at Full Gear. You got Christian and Edge. You got what they're doing with Tony Storm as well. Timeless Tony Storm. Like I just love what they're doing as well. They got some good stuff that they're doing right now. They really do. And it's not like, I don't think it's better than AEW 2019. You know what I mean? I don't think it's there, but I think as of right now, it's better than what they were doing earlier this year. But again, Collision, Saturday nights, bad time for pro wrestling. It just is what it is. But even on Wednesday nights and tomorrow night as well, you got NXT versus AEW. I fully suspect AEW losing the ratings as well. It just is what it is. You know what I mean? AEW is in second place to WWE, but they're in a far distant second place. It's not like this is not WCW versus WWF in 1997. It's not that at all. It's not that at all. AEW, as far as when it comes to TV, pro wrestling inside the ring, I think they're better than WWE. They put on better matches. It just is what it is for the most part. They put on better quality matches, right? May not be your cup of tea, but to me, in my personal opinion, I think they put on better matches. Like you can't tell me that the match that you can't say that. I saw this. I actually saw this from some people. Believe it or not, I did actually see this from some people online this weekend. The WWE Tag Team Title match at Fastlane was better than the AEW Tag Team Title match. Or I'm sorry, not the AEW Tag Team Title match, but the AEW the Aussie Open versus FTR at, what was it? All Out. Wait, were you high? Like, or not All Out, Wrestle Dream. I'm sorry, at Wrestle Dream. Like, were you high? Like, no, it wasn't a better tag team match. Like, sorry, it wasn't that. Like, they put on the FTR and Aussie Open, put on a better tag team match. Just, you know what I mean? Not saying that the other match was bad. It's just like what are you seeing here? What are you seeing here? But anyway, yeah, I mean, it is what it is with AEW. I hope they get back on the right track. I mean, it's good to have two strong wrestling companies. Their ratings are down, but their 18-49 is still strong-ish. Not strong, but strong-ish. They actually did bit. Now, here's the thing. We'll see what happens with tomorrow with NXT versus AEW. I expect NXT, this may be a long shot, but I expect them to be at a 1.2 million. When you got guys like Cody, Cena, Asuka, Paul Heyman, Becky Lynch, Judgment Day, because Dom is the North American champion, right? And possibly The Undertaker. And they still got, a little bit over 24 hours left to make another announcement of someone else being on the show. That's very hard. NXT is more star-studded. AEW is going to put on some damn good pro wrestling matches. Like, it's just great. You got Swerve versus Bryan Danielson on a Wednesday night. I'm sorry, on Tuesday night. Just take my fucking money. Like, great. You know what I mean? Just great shit. So, I don't know. I think AEW right now, I think the ratings and the crowd attendance is not as good as what they're actually showing for the show. I think a lot of people got turned off with the CM Punk stuff as well. That could be that. But I think they're putting on a decent at least over the past month. Over the past month has been decent. Now, what they do from here going forward remains to be seen. But as of right now, I am intrigued with the Christian and Edge storyline. I am intrigued what they're doing with MJF and Jay White. That's got to be a fucking 5-star match at Full Gear. I also like the fact that they are doing the MJF devil storyline as well. We didn't see anything about it last week, so hopefully they'll continue it very soon. So, and they're still keeping Adam Cole on TV, and also as well they still are keeping Roddy Strong and the Kingdom on TV. Adam, just great shit. Tony Storm is great. Julia Hart is looking to turn Sky Blue heel because Sky Blue's makeup is getting darker and darker and darker, just like what Julia Hart was experiencing. Same thing with Willow Nightingale. There's a lot of dynamic there. On AEW to be looking out for. But tomorrow they're going to get slaughtered. It just is what it is. They're going to get slaughtered tomorrow. I'm going to try to watch both shows. Whatever's on AEW, I'll probably pay attention to the most. Will probably be Moxley and Rey Fenix. Be paying attention to Edge versus Luchasaurus. We'll be paying attention to Swerve versus Bryan Danielson. At least those 3 matches right there for sure. On the NXT side, I'll probably be paying most attention to that overall because I just love NXT. It's my favorite wrestling show. It's not the best wrestling show, but it's my favorite wrestling show of the week. So we'll see. AEW is cold right now as far as a attendance standpoint, maybe even a rating standpoint, but I think the product right now is better than what it was earlier this year. It just is, but it's not being seen in the ratings and in the attendance. So maybe some fans are turned off by some of the sports entertainment aspect of it that they're going with, but I think it's making good TV. But that is it, guys. That is it for the podcast today. I rambled on way too long, but no other news stories out there. I probably should have saved that news story for tomorrow, but it is what it is. But that is it, guys. Thank you so much for coming out to today's stream here. If you are listening to this here live here on YouTube, be sure to leave a thumbs up. Leave a thumbs up, guys. That is standard YouTube protocol. I should have to tell you guys this to leave a thumbs up. That gets more people in here. If you don't leave a thumbs up, then why am I even here in the first place? Come on, help a brother out. Leave a thumbs up on the way out. Subscribe to the channel if you think I ever so deserve a nice subscription. Turn on notification bells. They'll tell you whenever I am going live here on this channel. Also, as well, follow me on Twitter X. Link is down below. My account is suspended on X. I don't think I'm gonna get it back, but just follow it regardless. I will eventually be putting my threads up because I'll probably just be posting on there. My Instagram link is down below there as well. Also, as well, closing this out, Spinebuster Tees, spinebustertees.com. Got a few orders here that are getting shipped out this week for the folks that bought the t-shirts. I very much so appreciate you guys. We do have the Heel Heat t-shirt there available. We have the Vanilla Midget t-shirt, the Wrestle Mark t-shirt, the Lucha's Everything t-shirt, the I Am Pro Wrestling t-shirt, all available. Fall 10 at checkout. Also, as well, free, I repeat, free shipping for orders over $40 at Spinebuster Tees and spinebustertees.com. And that is it, guys. hope you guys enjoy your Monday Night Raw tonight. We'll come back. We'll review that tomorrow. We'll preview NXT and AEW tomorrow. If there's any other news that breaks, you'll hear it here first tomorrow morning. Set your notifications for tomorrow morning, guys. We'll be back here for another edition of the Morning Sun Podcast. I'll see you guys later. You guys have a great day. Peace!